And okay, so let's get started. And feet flat on the floor if you are sitting at your computer, which most of us are. One thing I would urge you to do is just be cognizant of your breathing while you're doing the meditation, particularly while you're doing it in front of a computer. And just notice if there are moments when you sort of stop breathing or you're not conscious of your breath. And again, we have pretty awful air up here, so you might hear some white noise in the background. That's my air purifier. So just feel all the toe mounds, the toe pads on the ground. Feel your big toe mound and little toe mound and the heels of the foot, the soles of the foot, and the side of the sole of the foot. So just be aware whether you are having your feet in shoes or just on carpet or on wood floor or whatever flooring. And then just allow your shoulders to align with your hips. And if this is available to you, just try as best you can to align your ears with your shoulders. And we did a Tai Chi Chuan class today with some, most of the people there were over 70 and were not able by this time to stand straight. So what we have to do as we're approaching that age group is to remind ourselves to stay aligned. Particularly now we have all these devices that we're constantly looking down. And if you have jobs where you're spending hours and hours a day at a computer, please remember to keep yourself tall and your ears aligned with your shoulders. Just lengthen the spine. Imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And imagine there's somebody above you, very gently lengthening your spine. So stretching out all those muscles, all the tendons, putting some space in between your vertebrae. Just allowing things to flow a little bit better. Breathing is easier, blood flows better when we're sitting up straight. And then just go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the head. Relax the ears, the temples, back of the neck, and allow your shoulders and your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And just bring your mind to the breath and just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. Be aware of any sounds in your environment. Just allow those sounds to be there. And then just notice what's arising in the mind. And just rather than don't criticize it or try not to judge yourself or follow a story. Just be objective about what's arising and notice it. Maybe it can be fuel or food for the last part of this practice, which is resolve. Remembering to mind all the people of your life. Start with your loved ones and your friends, your dear ones, and then the ones you don't like so much, and then the strangers. Remembering they can all change place at any time. And then I think we constantly have to remind ourselves that they're all the same in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life and by extension, all sentient beings. And we don't have Hin here this evening. So usually when she doesn't turn up, it means she's not feeling very well. So just keep her in your heart while we do the practice. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is a psychological one. Because we're working with our mind. We create negativity with our mind. That's where it starts. It doesn't start in your toe. It starts with thinking. And we can change our thinking in a more positive direction. So we're purifying by applying these 4 opponent powers. And we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being in this day, in this life, and in all of past lives. So think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want it. So logically, it makes sense that we would remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also have some regret for our delusions, anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think, just really feel like, oh gosh, I'm sick of this suffering. What can I do about it then? So here we come to the power of reliance. We turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we are needing Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine, his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. So here we have this beautiful tanka. And rather than paint on canvas, you can imagine this Vajrasattva. And it doesn't have to be this kind of detail either. But if you just imagine this Buddha above the crown of your head, white, made of light and blissful, a couple of inches above the crown of the head. So for a moment, just really try and feel the presence of this Buddha. There can also be, if you think about the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. You're sitting cross-legged on a white lotus, and a moon cushion has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, and the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. So think of people you've harmed, think of people who've harmed you, make a strong wish for them to be free from suffering. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. So we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this liquid pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Am Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Am Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Am Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Am Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Am Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with the body. And next is the purification of our speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily and very compassionately sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, be so happy. Imagine your speech is now completely purified and it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech, even yourself. Because guess what? You hear what comes out of your mouth. So next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just as when you walk into a room that's pitch black, it's dark, the moment you switch on that light, it instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So it's the same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and bitterness and anger, depression, resentment, jealousy, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambajasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, just imagine now all the delusions, which are the source of all of our suffering, the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. Imagine this is gone, completely finished, and there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next, imagine Vajrasattva sending light and nectar, fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So really try and imagine that. So our last little section here is the power of resolve, and this very crucial step is this determination to not harm with our body, speech, and mind, or to even at very least think about refraining from harming with our body, our speech, and our mind. So we're all intelligent people. We all know what is likely harmful for ourselves and others. So we can choose something. Some things we're blind to, that sometimes it's good to have people remind us, but generally we know. So just think of something that you will refrain from that's harmful to you in some way. Between now and tomorrow, at least think about it. You can maybe make a note, put a reminder on your phone, think about it at lunchtime, or 5 minutes, or a minute, something. And this determination we have to make a decision. This decision we make kind of guides us in new directions and gives us a bit of strength to change. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And so next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche would recommend to meditate a little bit on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And so many of you here have His Holiness the Dalai Lama as one of your teachers. So just make a strong wish for His Holiness to live long, to live a happy and healthy life, and then also for the swift return, make strong request in your heart for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and then any of your own personal teachers, whoever they may be. So make a strong wish. It's really good to remind ourselves to, because we don't want to take their presence for granted. Okay, everybody. Good night. Sleep well. Lots of love. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.